This video is a replay of a trade I took today. Now, it probably goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. I am not a financial advisor, and trading entails risk. Just because I got these results today doesn't mean that I can get these every day, nor that you can. Remember, the entire premise of the investing project and the $1 million experiment is that I am not an expert, and yet I am learning how to do this. So for heaven's sake, don't just blindly copy me. Instead, find a mentor, someone who is an expert, and join their community. Pay for their mentorship. This approach has worked very well for me, and it likely will for you too. So use this video partly as education and partly as inspiration. After all, if I can learn this, you can too. All right, so today I took two trades. The first one was on the NQ, and as you can see here on, let me just zoom in on this. That's not the right one. What is the right one? One, two, that one. Okay, so you can see here on the 5 minutes, this has had a bit of a pullback. It had a really strong 5 minute candle up, and then it's had a gradual pullback, and now we've got this green 5 minute candle here after coming back to almost the base of this breakout. And then at the same time, if you look over here, it came back down on this is the 2 minute. It came back down right to the 200 moving average, which is often a point of some strength or some support where it can bounce off it. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and place my long right above here. So basically a legitimate entry on the 5 minute, and I put it at 29,367. So there. Okay, and so I'll let this go. And now something else, just while I'm thinking of it, at the same time, I had my eye on the YM, and you can see here, if I zoom in on the YM on the 5 minute, you can see that it's pulling back. And what I kind of wanted to do, because the YM generally has been lagging the ES and the NQ, I think it has room to catch up. And so I kind of wanted to find a way to get long on this one as well. And so I'm keeping an eye on this. In fact, I'll just let it play, even though it's not zoomed in, and we can see how this unfolds. Because there is a point at which I take the YM. Okay, so now I am in with the NQ, and this is a 50 handle. Is that 50? No, it's 100. And so what I've done is I came back up to here, added 20, came down to 29, 29. What is that? To 80, and that was about an 87 handles of risk. And so I'm in, and so that's fine. That's reasonable. So I'll let that go ahead and play. Meanwhile, I'm keeping an eye down here on the YM and looking for an opportunity to get in. Okay, now actually, I think what I ended up doing with the YM is I ended up saying, because I was kind of interested in getting in, I saw it pull. It came down here with a 5 minute candle. It came down here to the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, and I saw it pulling from there. And I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to put a buy order in right above this. Because there's a point at which it's going to go up, a candle's going to go above this one. And even though it hadn't been green yet, I thought, it's probably okay. So I put in a buy at 49,715. And I put that in, and I think I'm already in by this point, it looks like. So I'll just, I'll go ahead and put that in and see if I can get triggered there. Okay, I'm in. Now, what I did here is I put this down about, I can't remember where I put it, but I had 85 handles of risk on the YM as well. And so we'll let this go ahead and play now. And you'll notice up on the NQ, you'll notice that it's already moved 50 handles in the positive direction here, and it's pulled my stop up to break even. And it pulled up, in fact, it pulled it up by 1 point. And so that's what happens and so it'll continue to follow it up 50 handles behind the highest point. Now, as it turns out, I think this was the highest point, but we'll let it play and we'll just check. But here on the YM, oh, you didn't see that, did you? Sorry, I had the wrong thing zoomed. This is what I was talking about on the NQ. I don't know if I had the right thing zoomed. So you can see that. Meanwhile, on the YM, here we are going ahead with the trade. So I'm going to let this keep playing. And at some point, this made it, okay, yeah, so you saw on the NQ, it stopped me out. It came back, right back to that 50 points. And sometimes that works against me. Sometimes it stops me out, and then it turns around and goes up, and I missed out. But other times, it actually kind of saves my bacon. And I think this is one of those times. Today was a bit of a weird day. But we'll let that, we'll let that play out. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to, what I actually did is I followed the YM by moving up, following the 5 minutes with my stop, because I wanted to get something out of the deal. So let's continue to let this play. And we can see now that on the YM, I'm going to follow it up to about here. And meanwhile, if you look over here at the NQ, sure enough, it did come back down, and it would have triggered my full stop. So in fact, getting out at even was, at least in the near term, a good move. All right, and at this point, there's a news bar that hit or something, and it took me out of the YM as well. And so I ended up with $36 on the YM and nothing on the NQ. Such is life. That sometimes is the way it works. But those setups were at least somewhat legitimate, and you know, better than what I was messing around with last night on the ES. Anyway, so that's it for today. Not much to show for it.